Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever really stopped to think about what's on your dinner plate? Today, we're going on a fascinating journey to explore the incredible science hidden right there in our food. We're going to deconstruct the Indian thali to really understand what makes it so diverse and so vital for our health. Let's dive right in.
So, a couple of students, Medhu and Mishti, stumbled upon this ancient Sanskrit quote, and it really just says it all, doesn't it? Food gives life to living beings. This simple, powerful truth is really the foundation for our entire exploration today as we look at that vital link between what we eat and life itself.
Okay, so if food is this universal life giver, how come it looks so wildly different all across India? That's the first big question we're going to tackle.
I mean, seriously, think about it. Why does a traditional meal in Punjab look almost nothing like one you'd find in Karnataka or, say, Manipur? Well, the reason for this incredible variety is surprisingly simple, and it's all about what's right under our feet.
And this table here lays it out perfectly. You can see this direct line from what's grown locally to what ends up on the dinner table. In Punjab, you've got tons of maize and wheat, so of course, you get makke ki roti. Down in Karnataka, it's all about rice and ragi, which gives us staples like idli. And then you go over to Manipur, and you'll find rice and bamboo are key ingredients in dishes like aramba.
So, what's the bottom line? It's that a region's diet is basically a mirror of its geography. To put it really simply, what grows in the soil lands on the plate. It's that direct. But it's not just about what we're eating. The how is just as important. The way we actually cook our food has gone through this massive transformation, completely changing the heart of our homes.
Just look at this. These two images tell such a powerful story, right? On one side, you have the traditional wood-fire chula. I mean, that was the center of the kitchen for generations. And on the other, a sleek, modern gas stove. This one shift has totally revolutionized how we prepare our meals.
And here's another fantastic example of that evolution. We've gone from the very hands-on manual silbata for grinding spices to just flipping a switch on an electric grinder. And really, this change is all thanks to technology, better transportation, and communication just making our lives that much easier.
All right, so we've looked at the incredible variety of food across India and even how we cook it. But now, let's get into the really cool part. Let's peel back the layers and look at the science. What are our meals actually made of?
Okay, first up, carbohydrates. You can think of these as the body's #1 fuel source. They break down into something called glucose, which gives us that instant energy. It's kind of like when a marathon runner takes a sip of glucose water. It's for that quick, powerful boost to keep them going. And the best part is, we get our carbs from all sorts of delicious stuff that we eat all the time here in India. We're talking about grains like rice and wheat, veggies like potatoes, and, of course, sweet fruits like bananas and mangoes. All of them are just packed with that essential energy we need to get through the day.
All right, next on the list are fats. These are our concentrated energy reserves. And there's a really good reason we traditionally eat those rich, delicious laddos in the winter. The ghee, the nuts, they're loaded with fats that give our bodies that dense energy and warmth we need when it gets cold.
Now, our fats come from two main places: plants and animals. Plant-based fats are things like nuts and seeds, think groundnut oil. And animal-based fats are found in things like milk, butter, and ghee. And for a really well-rounded diet, you kind of need a bit of both.
And now, for the superstars of growth, proteins. They're often called bodybuilding food, and for good reason. They are literally the building blocks for our bodies. They help us grow, repair ourselves, and build muscle. So yeah, they are absolutely crucial for everyone, from growing kids to adults.
And the great news is, we have so many options to get our protein. For plant-based, you've got lentils, peas, and soybeans. And if you're looking at animal-based sources, there's milk, paneer, eggs, fish, you name it. Okay, so we've talked about the big three: carbs, fats, and proteins. But there's another group of nutrients that's super important. We only need them in tiny amounts, but wow, their impact is huge. Let's talk about the invisible powerhouses: vitamins and minerals.
To really get why they're so important, let's dive into a little historical mystery. For centuries, sailors on these long sea voyages would get sick with this awful, debilitating disease. But then, back in 1746, a Scottish doctor named James Lind noticed something very interesting.
What he saw was that the sailors who were eating lemons and oranges just weren't getting sick. And just like that, the puzzle was solved. The disease was scurvy, which caused things like bleeding gums and terrible weakness. And the cause? A simple lack of vitamin C.
This one observation ended up saving countless lives at sea. Okay, here's another incredible story, but this one's a bit closer to home, from right here in India. Back in the 1960s, scientists noticed that in the Himalayan region, a lot of people had this very visible swelling in their necks. So, what was going on?
It turned out to be a condition called goiter, which is when the thyroid gland swells up. And the reason was a deficiency of a mineral called iodine. The soil and the water in that region just didn't have enough of it. So what was the solution? It was simple, but absolutely brilliant. Just add iodine to everyday table salt.
I mean, these stories just perfectly illustrate how critical these vitamins and minerals are. And if you look here, you can see how each one has a specific job. Vitamin A is key for our eyesight. Vitamin D and calcium work together for strong bones. And vitamin B1 helps our heart. You can see how a shortage of any one of these tiny powerhouses can cause some pretty big problems. So, when you put it all together, the carbs, the fats, the proteins, and all those vitamins and minerals, what you get is basically the blueprint for a healthy body.
And really, here's the beautiful takeaway from all this. India's incredible, diverse food culture is like a natural roadmap to good health. If you eat a varied diet, get a good balance of those big macronutrients, and make sure you're getting lots of fruits and veggies for the micronutrients, well, that's the real key to a healthy, thriving life.
So we've seen how everything from geography to technology and science has shaped what we eat. Our plates have been constantly changing for centuries. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What will the Indian thali of the future even look like? And what new scientific discoveries are just around the corner, waiting to change the way we eat all over again?